what we didn't get to hear in the Depp v. Heard trial. Today, I'm going to be reading the transcript of Jennifer Howell's deposition that was done about 2 years ago. We're going to get some returning people like Elaine Camille Vasquez will be there as well. And if you guys remember Jennifer Howell, there was a lot of anticipation about her testimony during the trial because we knew that she had a lot of background information, some behind the scenes stuff between the sisters and all that. And again, Jennifer Howell is the founder of Art of Elysium, which is a nonprofit art organization. And she was the boss / friend of Whitney Henriquez / Whitney Heard, who is Amber Heard's sister. And also, I think she's maybe acquaintances. I don't know if they're friends or not with Amber Heard as well. I know she's friends with James Franco. But like I said, there was a lot of anticipation for Jennifer Howell's testimony for the trial. And there was just a lot of things that just weren't let in. So we're going to read the full transcript of her deposition. And it's going to be very interesting. I just want to see what else was not covered in the trial. Oh, man, I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hello, hello, hello. And this first one, part one of the deposition is, it's kind of long. It's 200 pages long. So we're going to have to break up these deposition transcripts into a couple streams. I think today we'll probably do a good 2+ hours. And then I didn't even look at how long the second one was because there was 2 depositions that were done. Oh my goodness. Brandon, hi. How are you doing today? Brandon, thank you so much for the membership for 9 months. Thank you. Thank you. Hello and happy Tuesday. Hello and happy Tuesday to you as well. I hope you're doing good. Oh, I didn't have my overlays on. Okay, my overlays are on now. Okay, they're popping up. And hello, yes. I hope you're doing well. Oh man, I'm excited. So I started reading the deposition. I probably read the first maybe 10, 15 pages. Last week, and I was like, you know what? I think we can just get away with just reading it first time with you guys because you guys remember for the sidebar transcripts, if I didn't read it ahead of time, it was really messy to kind of organize it on stream and then to know which parts to skip and which parts to actually read into. So that I had to read ahead of time, take my notes and all that stuff. But I think for the deposition transcript, I think we can just read the whole thing, and I think, I think it should be fine. We'll see how it goes. Hi, Dave. How are you doing today? Good morning. Hello, hello. How are you guys all doing? Did you guys have a good weekend? There's, what did we do last week? Oh, that's right. I saw you guys last week for the Taylor Schabusiness sentencing. Boy, that was crazy. I'm trying to look at my notes right now to see if there's any upcoming things going on, but I think a lot of stuff that I have is for October. Just to go over the schedule. So October, we have a status hearing for Sarah Boone. As you guys know, she has a new lawyer now. Seems like the lawyer is starting to put in some stuff and getting some things rolling. For November, we also have some stuff popping up as well. We have Corey Richins, the book author who's accused of murdering her husband with fentanyl. She's got a scheduling conference for November as well. And I think possibly the Murdoch state financial stuff, that trial will be happening end of November. I think literally the weekend after Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh, time is going by so quickly. I can't believe it's already October. It's fall season. It's going to be Halloween soon, Thanksgiving, and then Christmas. And then it's going to be 2024 all over again. And we're just going to do the whole thing. It's going to be crazy. Hi, Paul. How are you doing today? Not been able to catch us live for a while. How are you? I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Hello, hello. Thanks for popping in. Good weekend. My football team won the grand final. Is it state football or is it the regular NFL? I don't watch football, so yeah, go team. How are you? What are we talking about? So today I wanted to read the transcript of Jennifer Howell. We're going to have Elaine Brederhoff. There's going to be Camille Vasquez as well, who's going to be, of course, the lawyer for Johnny Depp. And Jennifer Howell's also going to have her own lawyer that's going to, throw some snides that Elaine Brederhoff here and there. But yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. I really wish that we can get a video deposition because it'd be nice to kind of listen to and hear everyone's voices and see there's a part where I think Jennifer Howell's lawyer is essentially saying that Elaine was screeching her questions or screaming her questions at her or something. And then Elaine's like, oh, am I screaming or am I just loud? Which one is it? And I wish I could just hear the whole back and forth thing. I thought it would be really interesting. Oh, it's Aussie football. Gotcha. Hi, Tina. How are you doing today? Do you do fantasy football or whatever? All right. So going back to the scheduling. So we're going to have, after Thanksgiving, Murdoch state financial trial happening. And then for Sarah Boone, possibly pre-trial scheduling conference. And then maybe in December, maybe she'll have a jury trial for 3 weeks. But that's what we got so far on the schedule. I know there's a lot of moving parts happening with all these student, what's it called? The Idaho student murders, and with Brian Koberger as well. But yeah, I haven't really been following that. I need to catch up with everything. I can't remember. No worries. Who is Jennifer Howell? So Jennifer Howell, if you guys remember, do you guys remember the Art of Elysium? So she is the founder of the Art of Elysium. It's a nonprofit. They have like events where it's like art stuff, with artists. And she was the boss and friend of Whitney. Whitney is Amber Heard's sister. Now, I know she's acquaintances with Amber Heard. I don't know if she's considered friends with Amber Heard. I don't know how close they were, but I know at some point, like, Whitney was staying with Jennifer Howell. And then also Jennifer Howell is also close friends with James Franco as well. Because remember, like, people were like saying that, oh, is James Franco going to testify? Because James Franco was in that security cam footage in Johnny Depp's and Amber Heard's apartment, or condo, whatever. And they were in the elevator, like, talking about something when she had the bruise on her face, the alleged bruise. So that is Jennifer Howell. And a lot of people were pretty, we're waiting for her to testify. We're like, oh man, when Jennifer Howell testifies, it's going to be crazy because she's going to talk about, remember the Australian finger incident with Johnny Depp? Well, apparently she said she overheard Whitney, kind of like exclaiming like, oh my God, she's done it again. My sister, I forgot what was verbatim, but essentially saying that like, oh, she like cut off like Johnny Depp's like finger or something like that. And then also the staircase incident. So there are some things that Jennifer Howell heard from Whitney herself. Now, a lot of it wasn't allowed in the trial because a lot of it was hearsay. But, she's saying that, like, I heard Whitney tell me this. She told me this. She told me that, da-da-da-da. And then also, it's kind of crazy because initially Jennifer Howell only got involved in this entire thing was because she apparently heard about Whitney testifying during the UK trial or something. And then she was like, wait a second, like, this person's like really close to me. I consider her a friend. And why is she lying for her sister? Like, I don't want her to get in trouble. I don't want her to perjure herself for her sister and all that stuff. So that's the reason why she started getting involved in all of this. And I think, I think Team Amber Heard attacked her saying like, oh, you're just doing this for, I don't know, maybe clout or something. Or maybe you're just trying to be on good terms with Johnny Depp. But like, I don't know. A lot of the arguments that they made to Jennifer Howell just didn't really make sense to me. Because I felt like Jennifer Howell, like, what is she going to care about? Like, because Johnny Depp at the time was essentially being ostracized by, like the movie companies and stuff like that. And a lot of people were against him because they thought he was abusive, right? So for her to like be like, okay, well, let me take Johnny Depp's side, a guy that I barely know, when like, a lot of people were against him. I don't know, that would have been really risky for her. So, when she talks about her intentions as to why she got involved in this entire thing, I kind of believe her. It kind of made sense to me. Hi, friends. I've been banned from commenting for 24 hours. I'm back, baby. What do you mean you're banned from commenting for 24 hours? Like, YouTube banned you? Or is it like a stream that banned you? From my understanding, I don't think I've ever heard YouTube banning someone from commenting on all like platform or on all streams or something like that. What happened, Jay? Now I'm kind of curious. What did you do? Oh, I remember now. Thank you. You're welcome, Anna. Yeah, so we're gonna read the transcript because I just want to see what else was said. Because we do have like a signed what's it called? It's like a signed affidavit thing that Jennifer signed. And it like kind of does like a summary of everything, but this is like the deposition. And this is like, I want to read this. I just want to see what happens. YouTube did it. Why? Were you being naughty? I've never heard of YouTube, banning someone from commenting, or is it like commenting on live streams or just commenting on YouTube videos in general? Oh my God, I'm so thirsty. Okay. That was a lot to talk about. So I think the Elaine voice is coming back. So I did the Elaine voice for the sidebars. To me, honestly, it just makes it easier for people who are kind of listening to me in the background to keep track of who's saying what. And I don't know. I just feel like it's just better to have the voices. Really? Just commenting on videos in general? I've never heard of that. Were you like, oh, did it think you're like a bot or something? And were you like spam commenting? Maybe that's what happened. If you commented too much, or like, okay, well, you're commenting too much, and maybe you're like a bot or something. Because I know on Instagram, when I would like have these accounts where I'm trying to grow their followers, what I would do is like I would like spam follow, I'll spam comment, and at some point, Instagram will be like, okay, you can't comment for like the next 12 hours or 24 hours because they think you're like a bot or something. They said you cyberbullied. Well, were you cyberbullying? YouTube did it. How has nobody used that as a defense argument yet? YouTube did it. It's all YouTube's fault. All right, y'all. So today's going to be like a 2-hour stream. We're going to hang out today. I'm going to get my glasses on. Whew, I need to update my prescription, I think. Oh, my goodness. I think my eyesight's getting worse. You know, I used to be like, I have 20/20 vision. I don't need contacts. I don't need glasses. Da-da-da-da-da. And look at this. All that shit talking has landed me here. And now I'm like, I need to update my prescription. Like, I feel like driving is kind of like, I could drive and it's like fine, but it's like crisper and more cleaner, you know, with glasses on. And then I want to get sunglasses for driving, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to put prescription lens on there because it's expensive. Like, eh. Okay, anyway, sorry. That's just my rant of the day. Anyway, so we have Plain Jane here, who's a cyberbully. Been there, age 35, glasses all the way. I think it's just because my head is just really sensitive, or my face, but I try to buy really lightweight glasses. It's just that like my head and like the back of my ear just starts getting really irritated if I wear glasses for too long. And then I tried wearing contacts, but wearing contacts in freaking California sucks because it's so dry here. And, you know, when you're in downtown LA, it's pretty polluted. So I feel like when I was wearing my contacts, it would just dry out really quickly. And then also I would just have like these like smog on my lens. I don't know. I was talking to the doctor about it. I was like, what do people do? They're just like, I don't know. You just clean it more often. I'm like, okay, that sounds like annoying. I don't want to do that. I hate contacts. Yeah, I just don't like contacts. And my eyes are just too dry for that, you know? I'm a dry girl. You're awake and baking? What is wake and baking? Like wake up and smoke the weed or something? Is that what wake and baking is? Okay, so we do not have the video, but we got the transcript, which is fine. Maybe one day they will release the videos. But just a huge shout out to, of course, deppdive.net. They posted of everything about this trial on there, and that was my place for all the resources, that and the Nick Wallace website as well. So just shout out for them for posting everything and having it all organized and stuff. Now, this is going to be the videotape deposition of Jennifer Howell. Wait, this is volume 2. Hold on, are we skipping? Thursday, March 3rd, 2023. Hold on a second. Are we jumping? Oh, this is volume 1. Oh, I think this is the first one. Let's see. Conducted on February 26, 2021. Oh, this is from a year later. Oh, no, I had that correctly. Oh, okay, I had it correctly. Oh, God. All right, guys. Are you ready? Hi, Wayne. How are you doing today? I started wearing glasses when I was 25. 41 now. Can't do contacts. Freaks me out. Plus, I can't wear them as I work with the flower at work. It'd be like a bitch. Oh, yeah, it would just like get in your eyes and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't like contacts. But I need new recommendations for glasses because I want to get really lightweight glasses, but I want them to look good. I feel like a lot of glasses that look really good, they tend to be so thick on the edges, and I hate that. I hate that. Oh, thanks, Jane. Look at you cyberbullying. Thanks, Jane. I appreciate it. I'm never going to let that go. I'm going to forever make fun of you for that. Okay, so we have this was conducted on February 26, 2021. This is the first of the deposition. We are going to have Elaine Brederhoff. We're going to have, Stephanie Cowan's on here as well, who is a lawyer for Johnny Depp. Camille Vasquez is here. And I wonder if we get Ben Chu. You know, I always love me a little bit of Ben Chu. But we for sure are also going to get a lawyer for Jennifer Howell. I don't know their name, though. Hello. I believe 40 years up, many people start to have vision problems. I used to have eye drops. I have really, really severe eye dryness. Oh, no. Do you wear contacts, Jay? Or do you just have like really dry eyes and you just have to drop them in? Man, because I wear mascara, so I would hate to have to start using eye drops. I like my mascara. How's your day? Hello, Malik. How are you doing today? It's going good. We're just, starting the day up. Some deposition. And let's see how the voice goes. So initially, if there's too many people, I will read out the names because it makes it easier for me. But at some point in the deposition, it'll be a back and forth between probably like Elaine Brederhoff and Jennifer Howell. So it'll be easier to distinguish who is who. Sorry, my mouse, I broke my mouse, so please bear with me. My mouse is broken. I need to buy a new mouse. Thanks, Kurt. Thank you. All right, so Elaine Brederhoff. Good morning. My name is Elaine Brederhoff, and I represent Amber Heard. Ms. Vasquez, Good afternoon, Camille Vasquez on behalf of Mr. Depp, Ms. Callinan, Stephanie Callinan. I don't have a voice for her, so maybe I'll just use my voice for her. Ms. Bredehoff. Yeah, we couldn't hear that person. Let's see. This is just going to go back and forth with them not being able to hear. They're getting the audio stuff. Mr. Chu is also present. Samuel Moniz is also present as well. And you guys know I love Samuel Moniz, my favorite email writer. All right. Brotherhoff says, do we have any others, Camille? There seems to be so many people on this. Ms. Vasquez, 3 people is a lot, I guess. Yes, Elaine, that's it. Ms. Brotherhoff, okay. And then I think, Mr. Spear, I think you need to note your presence as well. Mr. Spear, I will do that. Richard Spear, Mayor Brown for the witness. Okay. So Mr. Spear is the lawyer for Jennifer Howell. We have the Kathleen, who's going to be on behalf of the witness as well. So maybe 2 lawyers for Jennifer Howell. We have the videographer. We got Jennifer Howell. They're swearing her in. Okay. So this is by Elaine and Jennifer Howell. They're going to do back and forth. Elaine says, will you please state your name and address for the record? Jennifer Howell. This is her address. They didn't redact this? Okay, I'm sure by now she's moved. That's her birthday. What is your current occupation? I run the Art of Elysium. I'm the CEO of the Art of Elysium. Oh, I'm sorry. So this is them cutting each other off. Miss Howell, you went in and out a little bit. I think it's just a video connection. Could you please repeat that? Sorry, CEO of the Art of Elysium. Okay, and you're here under subpoena, is that correct? Yes. Okay, and you have provided a declaration on behalf of Mr. Depp in connection with the UK proceedings in this litigation, correct? Yes. And you have also provided a witness statement in support of Mr. Depp's appeal in the UK proceedings, is that correct? Yes. Okay, and for the record, I'm requesting the court to declare this witness as an adverse pursuant to rules 8.01/401 and Rule 2607 of the Rule of Evidence has permitted me to ask questions in a cross-examination manner. Have you ever had your deposition taken before? No. Okay. I'm sorry. I can't hear you. You occasionally are so again, they're cutting in and out. When they're cutting in and out like this, I'm just going to keep going down. They're just going to repeat themselves. The tech is coming in. They're trying to help. And then again, Elaine's going to say, have you ever had your deposition taken before? No. Now, you understand that you are testifying both in your individual capacity and on behalf of Art Elysium, correct? I just heard that today. I actually thought it was 2 separate things, but it's fine. E Diamond says, hi, I have frameless sunglasses. They're very light and also available in prescription. Oh, what's the brand? What's the brand of it? No, I don't have good. I think the Elaine voice, I'm doing pretty okay, but everyone else's voice is too hard, Too hard. There's this guy that I watch. He's an actual voice actor, and sometimes he do the voice acting for the games that he plays. He's so good. I wish I had more ranges. I just don't. I'm just, high-pitched SpongeBob voice. I ordered colored contacts from Wish. They were actually legit. Oh my gosh. I used to wear colored contacts when I was in high school. They, no. I had gray. I had blue. No, they look so bad on me. Oh God. My favorite were green though. I think green looks pretty good, but everything else was just no. I look like the White Walker or something. All right. So back to Elaine. Okay. The witness. Let me, I'm going to try. It shows Fool's Bar. Okay. So this is her kind of losing in and out of connection. Please hear me. She said she's in the bedroom of her parents' house. She's walking around trying to get connection. And the reporter is just reading it back. Okay, Elaine says, okay. There are just 2 separate subpoenas, one to me personally and one to the charity. So, right. And to make this process go a little bit more quickly, in combining these depositions, just let me know. If you do not have personal knowledge about something that we're testifying to, and you're testifying on behalf of the Art of Elysium, because you talked to an employee or learned some information in connection with the Art of Elysium. Just let me know that, okay? Okay, great. I'm going to be asking you a series of questions, and if any of the time you do not understand my question, let me know and I will rephrase it. If you respond, I will assume you understood the question. Is that fair? Yes. And I would like to ask that you please be sure to answer everything verbally, as opposed to a shake or a nod of the head or an because we have a court reporter who needs to be transcribing everything, okay? Yes, understood. Look at Elaine. Look at her. She's making sure everything is all clear, good for the witness. Okay, look at her, just going through all her bases and stuff like that. All right. Anyways, the videographer is like interrupting. He wants her to show her face more. We're only getting the chin. All right, Elaine says, so did you review any documents in preparation for the deposition? The ones that I went over with my attorney, day before yesterday, I believe, Richard. Which documents were those? The ones that I had provided that I believe were provided to everyone with my understanding. Is that right? Would that be approximately 99 pages? Oh my God. Driving me nuts. Hold on. There you go. Okay. This is better. Okay. Would that be approximately 99 pages? I cannot say at the top of my head, but it was what I had given them, so I'm not sure. All right. Is there anything you reviewed other than the documents you produced in the discovery to both sides? No. Okay. Did you speak with anyone other than your counsel in preparation for your deposition today? No. Did you interview with any people to be able to respond on the behalf of the Art of Elysium? No. And again, Art of Elysium, they keep bringing it up because Whitney, Amber Heard's sister, used to work there. I forgot how long she worked there. Maybe they're going to bring it up. I don't remember. Maybe like 10 months to a year or something like that, or maybe more. Answer. No, I don't know. I didn't know we were doing the response on behalf of the Art of Elysium. I've obviously spoken to my employees about this since we got subpoenaed, but I did not sit down and interview anyone. No. Okay. Now you claim that the reason you became involved with this case is that you watched Whitney Heard provide testimony in the UK that mentioned you. You became upset, and you reached out to Christy Dombrowski. Is that correct? And again, it's interesting that they use the word watch because the UK trial, unlike the US trial in Virginia, that was not live stream. I know that they had court reporters attend and like people were like, I think you're able to like tweet while you're sitting in the courtroom, if I remember correctly, but there was no watching of anything of any kind. So Camille Vasquez, objection, lack of foundation. Ms. Howell, I'm occasionally going to make objections on behalf of Mr. Depp. And I assume your counsel will be also making objections. So if you just give me 2 seconds to state my objections on the record, it might make the court reporter's job a little bit easier. And also, I would just note, I hear a terrible background echo noise. So if everyone could just mute their lines that's not speaking, that would be, I'm sure, greatly appreciated. You check the print, it's so tiny, you can't read the print. Okay. Thank you, E. Diamond. A group of charlatans found at a rave. She lives in Talmadge, great building. Talmadge? What is Talmadge? Are you talking about Jennifer Howell? Families look like a feather and don't make any marks on the nose either. Yes, that would be great. Thank you. It's so funny how the print is so small you can't read unless you have the glasses on. All right. Elaine says, do you remember the question? Yes, I can walk you exactly how I came to be aware of the case and everything else. I saw Google alerts with the Art of Elysium. I was aware something was going on. I had believed that this was put to rest years ago because I understand from Whitney was that they had signed an NDA. Amber had dropped all of the charges against Johnny. She had paid for the divorce. She had been paid her divorce settlement. And to the best of my knowledge, this thing was put to rest years ago. I got contacted the last week of July by a neighbor who is a friend of mine, lived in the same apartment building with me for probably like 20 years. I would probably say to the best of my ability that I had shared with her at the time. Whitney was living with me a lot of what I had shared with her at the time. Whitney was living with me a lot of what Whitney shared with me because I was not sure what to do with information at the time. She called me sometimes the week, last week of July, probably 20th, I would say, sometimes that week and said, are you watching with what's going on with the case? And I said, no. At what point she kind of filled me in and she's like, everything you said was like, it's like complete opposite. Everything that Whitney shared with you. This is crazy. And I started looking at it. And whenever I texted Christy, I met Christy through Tim Headington. Again, Christy is Johnny Depp's sister. And texted her not thinking I was going to say anything. I was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm aware of what's going on. I have a stepbrother who I consider my brother. I cannot imagine what you're going through. Something to that effect. And I think I asked if I could just call or something, just express my apologies for what her family must be going through. I do not, and I'm not sure if that point Whitney had gotten on the stand yet. When Whitney got on the stand, that is when I felt compelled that I had to come forward because what she said on the stand was in dire contrast to why she told me she came to stay with me and what she shared with me while she lived with me. Ms. Bredehoff, okay, there's 2 things I'm going to need here. The first, I'm going to move to strike the vast majority. The vast majority of that is non-responsive and hearsay, double hearsay, and triple hearsay. But the second part is, I'm going to ask the court reporter, Ms. Howell went in and out of the beginning. I didn't get all of the beginning of her answer. Did you get the full answer? Oh, shit. Okay, Elaine didn't get any of that. Who is having bad connection here? It must be Elaine, maybe. Hi, Kay. How are you doing today? Hello, hello. Oh, Koreatown building in LA, gorgeous apartments. Oh my gosh. I remember when I first moved to LA, I wanted to live in Koreatown because it was like food. There's like everything going on there and it's like centralized, but Koreatown is way too chaotic. It's too crazy, chaotic, and loud. But yeah, Koreatown, very cool, but just way too crazy. I feel like Koreatown in your early 20s would be really fun. All the clubs are there too. All right. So Elaine missed most of that. She said she's going in and out, and the court reporter is going to have to reread everything. And I'm just gonna skip all that because we already read it. Okay, so they're just going back and forth. All right, Elaine did objection. She said hearsay, double hearsay, triple hearsay. Now, Elaine. So would it be accurate to say, Ms. Howell, that you did not, quote, watch, end of quote, any of Whitney's testimony? Is that correct? I read what was in the transcripts when it came up, is what I saw. Right. But let me ask the question again. It would be correct to say that you did not, quote, watch, end quote, Whitney's testimony. Is that correct? Ms. Vasquez, objection, vague and ambiguous as to watch assumes facts, not an evidence. Oh, no, I was aware. If there's a video, I have no idea. Okay, so it would be too inaccurate for you to say that, quote, watch, end quote, Whitney's testimony. Is that correct? Ms. Vasquez, objection, vague and ambiguous, asked and answered, and lack of foundation. Do I continue? I don't know what to do here. Again, it gets really confusing when you're doing depositions for the first time, especially video depositions. And it's like there's objections going on. You're like, wait a second, am I supposed to answer? What am I supposed to do? But you are supposed to answer. These are just things that are put on for the record. So she's supposed to continue to answer. But it gets really confusing. There's so many lawyers and so many people talking. So for video, it's probably even more confusing than actually being there in person. Hi, BetaBot. How are you doing today? How's it going? Is this someone who got removed from the court because of Dubé? Oh, hi, Rain. No. That was Gina Duders. So Gina Duders was removed from the court because of Eva. Is her name Eve or Eva? Eve, right? Because of Eve Barlow showed like a social media screenshot or something that was a little bit not a little bit. It was misrepresenting what was actually going on. They were saying that like, oh, she's been watching the trial and look at her. She made a statement about it on her Instagram. And then Team Depp later on found out that it was like a post from like 2 years ago. And it was actually in regards to the UK trial. But this is Jennifer Howell. Jennifer Howell was the one that a lot of people were anticipating for her testimony because she was the one that was friends and the boss of Whitney Heard. And at the time, Whitney Heard told her about the Australia, like the finger incident thing, and then told her about the staircase incident and how the reason why she decided to move from away from Amber Heard and Johnny Depp was because like her crazy sister or something. But then when Jennifer Howell was hearing that Whitney Heard basically was saying everything that was diametrically opposite to what she told her, this was during the UK trial. She decided to speak up about this. So yeah. Anyways, Bretterhoff. Bretterhoff says yes. Answer. If there's an objection, okay, I read the transcript, so that is what I see. I don't know if you would. I did not see a video. I was not in the court. No. Who gave the transcript of Whitney's testimony? They were online at all the daily transcripts were going up. Now, I'm going to ask you, well, before I go into that, is it your recollection that you were in Whitney's testimony? She said she went to stay at her boss's floor or couch, and that is me. So that is where I'm saying she brought me up on the stand. Was your name ever mentioned in that trial? No, but she was 100% referring to me. Well, do you know that for sure? I know that for a fact. How many bosses had Whitney had? At the time, me, nobody else. And was there another job that Whitney had in the same time period? She started working for me in January of 2015 and was employed. She started another job in November of 2015 and was still doing part-time work with me, but she lived with me from May 2015 until April 2016. And the incident that she was talking about, she said whatever she said. It was definitely me. There's no two ways around it. This is her lawyer. Hey, Jen, this is Rich. Just answer the questions that you are put to you. The witness. Okay. Elaine will ask you very good questions. Just listen to her questions and answer them. Okay? Mr. Spear. We'll see what happens with Elaine's questions. Okay. Question.
So let me just go back. Now you've indicated that Whitney lived with you from January 2015 to, no, pardon me. I'm sorry, May 2015 to April 2016. Actually, I should take notes on this. Let's take notes because it's been a while since we went through all this. All right, so the time that she lived with her was May 2015 to April 2016. Actually, should I put the notes on my stream? Do you guys want to see it? So we have like AH sister live with Jennifer. I don't know. I'll just put it here. And then if it's May 2015 to April 2016. Ooh. In my notes, I will put it here. And then I think when I add more, we'll just or just resize it or put it elsewhere. Or should I just put it on the side? Aha. Okay. I'll put it there for now. Yay, caught alive. Hi, Lemon. How are you doing today? I love how you capture Camille's and Elaine's vibe, spirit, attitude. Really impressive. Thanks. Thank you, thank you. We trying here. Not perfect. Okay. Elaine, pardon me. I'm sorry. May 2015 to April 2016. Are you absolutely certain about those dates? Camille, objection, argumentative. I mean, I'm certain, yes. She came and went at different periods, but all of her stuff moved out of my house April 2016. And I'm sorry, did you say you were 100% certain of that? Objection, asked and answered, argumentative. Ms. Howell, could you answer my question? Yes, she did go back to Amber and Johnny's at different points, but she was still living with me during that time. The question I asked, because you were talking at the same time Ms. Vasquez was giving an objection, was I believe that you said you were 100% certain of those dates. Is that correct? Yes. Same objections. Ms. Howell, I'm sorry. It would just be helpful if you just wait 2 seconds before answering Ms. Betterhouse's question. The witness, okay. Just so the court reporter can note my objections and note the full question and note your answer. Okay. Now, did you try to contact Whitney before you reached out to Christy Dombrowski? I did not. Why not? Because she was lying under oath. Any other reason? No. So if you thought that Whitney was lying under oath, then why wouldn't you have felt at least an obligation to reach out to her and say, wait, did I misunderstand this? Or why did you say this? Or do you remember that you said this before? You didn't feel an obligation to do that? I mean, she got the transcripts and it was just like probably like straight up lying. Like if it was like some things that are like maybe like a little bit ambiguous, you know, maybe she would feel the need to be like, hey, you know, like this is a little bit like unclear. Maybe you could like clarify this. But I think when she was reading Whitney's transcripts to her, she thought Whitney was just straight up just lying about everything. So I don't know. She said no. Camille, objection, compound, lack of foundation. It's argumentative. Now, there was at least 3 periods of the time that the Art of Elysium closed down because of finances during the time that Whitney was working there. Is that correct? No. Objection, lack of foundation. Ms. Howell, I'm sorry, just state my objections, blah, 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 blah. The witness, no, that's not true. Okay, when did the Art of Elysium close down for financial reasons? Objection, assumes facts, not an evidence, lack of foundation. The Art of Elysium has never closed down in 24 years. We've had layoffs. Did you have any layoffs of Whitney Heard? 100%. Okay, how many times? 1. And when was that? I don't have that date in front of me, and I can't pull it up from the charity's records, but I can. It was definitely like 2015. I don't know the month exactly. All right. Do you recall how long the layoff was of Whitney Heard in 2015 from Art of Elysium? I do not. I think that different employees had different layoff times. We always kept some staff on any time we've ever had to do layoffs. Now, you said you reached out to Christy Dombrowski because you said that you have a stepbrother, that you wanted to apologize and this wasn't accurate. Is this correct? And you felt badly for Christy because you didn't want something like that to happen to your stepbrother, like what was happening to Johnny Depp. Is that essentially your motivation? Yes. Objection. I'm sorry, Camille. Oh, wait. Okay. Objection. Compound misstates the witness's testimony, lack of foundation. You can continue now. Yes. Okay. Now, you said repeatedly in the press that you have been making statements to help Whitney. Would you agree that you made that statement? I still am. Objection. Assumes facts, not an evidence. Vague, ambiguous, compound, lack of foundation. Yes, I stand by that today. I've never spoken to the press, so not in the press. So sorry about that, but I stand by that statement today. How was anything that you have said help Whitney? Objection. Vague and ambiguous, lack of foundation, argumentative.
I'm hoping she does not take the stand again and further perjure herself. So I maybe at this point, maybe she meant like, oh, if there was a trial in the U.S., which I know I think everyone knew that there was a pending trial to happen in Virginia. Maybe what she was hoping was that, hopefully Whitney doesn't perjure herself again, for the U.S. trial. Maybe that's what her motive was. I think that's what she's trying to say. Elaine, you're going to need to chug all that water after Elaine's voice. I know, someone get me some honey, some lemon, some tea. Hi, Paris. How are you doing today?
Is that the sole reason you think you were helping Whitney by coming forward with her statements?
Objection, vague, ambiguous, compound, lack of foundation. Yes.
Okay. Now you have said that you believe Whitney was going to be charged by the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigations, with perjury and other crimes.
I like how Elaine clarifies. We don't know what FBI means.
Where did you come up with that?
Objection, lack of foundation, vague, ambiguous, compound. I'm not sure. Are you talking about the letter I wrote to her? I'm not sure what you're coming up with that.
Do you recall making that statement?
Objection, assumes facts, not in evidence, lack of. And then her lawyer comes in. Hold on 1 second. Just stop. Jen, take 3 or 4 seconds after the question to listen to the question and allow the objections to be made. Honestly, 3 or 4 seconds. That way, court reporter can just get down what she needs to get down, okay? Just give it a few seconds. All right. Thank you, Mr. Lawyer. All right, so Camille, a bunch of objections, lack of foundations. The court reporter reads back. The witness says, I do not recall making that statement. Elaine Berterhoff.
Do you recall anyone telling you that Whitney was going to be charged with perjury or other crimes?
No.
Do you recall anyone telling you that Whitney was going to be arrested when the plane wheels touched down in Los Angeles for perjury?
I wonder where Elaine's getting this from. No.
Did anyone tell you that someone told you that?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure I never said that. When the plane wheels touched down? No.
Have you ever had any legal training?
No. Objection, lack of relevance, lack of foundation. Ms. Berterhoff.
Camille, just to make things go a little bit faster, relevance is not an objection that needs to be made in depositions. That's one that you preserve. So just to make it go a little bit faster, if you would just refrain from that one, the others, you can do whatever you want. But I'm just trying to suggest that's not necessary. It's preserved. Okay. Can you read back the question, please?
Damn, Elaine on fire. Rumor has Elaine has been chugging mega pints and muffins since they lost a trial. Elaine tried to school. She did school. Okay. Anyways, we'll have to ask a lawyer about that. I don't know. All right, so going back, Berterhoff.
Okay, do you have any understanding what the legal process would be to charge someone with perjury?
To my best of my understanding, through what I know of the law, is that you don't... Mr. Spear. No. Stop. Yeah, okay. Mr. Spear, I'm instructing you to not answer that question. Okay. The question is totally out of bounds for this witness, so ask another question, please. Elaine.
No, it's not out of bounds because she made that statement. I want to know she has an understanding to make that statement, and we have it in writing.
Well, you can show her the writing, but she's testified she didn't make the statement. It's totally out of bounds to ask her questions around what her legal training is and what her understanding of the FBI process is, etc.
Mr. Spear, can you please put on the record what the basis for your instructing her not to answer is?
I just put on the record. You can ask another question. He literally just said it. All right, sorry. What does Elaine say? The legal basis. Okay.
Elaine, the legal basis.
I just gave you the legal basis.
Anything else you'd like to add to that?
No.
All right.
All right, Elaine. She lost that one.
So you talked about Google Alerts, and in fact, you have been rather obsessed with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp for many years. Have you not?
Oh my God, here we go. The obsession with these celebrities. Good Lord. Objection, argumentative, lack of foundation, assumes facts not in evidence. It's harassment, Elaine. Harassment. Absolutely not true.
Isn't it true that you had a Google Alerts on your phone for both Amber Heard and Johnny Depp for many years?
The lawyer. Jen, 4 seconds. Count to 1, 2, 3, 4 before you answer the question, okay? I know it's tough because these questions are kind of being screamed at you, but just take a few minutes, a few seconds. Let Camille object, okay?
Hold up. Before you start, you just made the statement that the questions are being screamed. Am I too loud?
They're very aggressive questions of a non-party witness.
Is that the reason? Is that the reason that you said scream? Is because of that? Or should I be turning down my volume? We've had some of these Zooms where people had difficulty hearing me.
Girl, if they said your audio was too loud, they would have told you from the very beginning, okay? Don't be playing dumb. You knew exactly what he was talking about, okay? Anyways, okay.
But if you think I'm too loud, I can calibrate my sound back down.
No, we can hear you just fine. It is more of the tenor of your question, and then it is really how loud you are. Stop it! Elaine's a screamer now. Stop it. Okay. The frameless nearsighted glass I have are by Silhouettes. Oh, Silhouettes. Silhouette America? Nope, this is not it. Silhouette glasses. Ooh. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for checking. Thank you. Your Elaine voice is hysterical. You gotta just spot on. It's because we had like how many hours of Elaine on the trial? Remember, she did Dr. Hughes, she did Dr. Curry, she did the Amber Heard stuff. She like did a lot of witnesses. Yeah, I don't know. Elaine. Oof. All right. Let's see. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. She wants to calibrate her sound. He says, no, it's fine. It's more the tenor of the question. Elaine says, which I have every right to ask. Oh my God. This is so Elaine right here.
I have every right to ask this.
I remember her saying it to Judge Penny so many times. Go ahead.
Can you read back the question, please?
All right. So what was the question again? The question is, isn't it true that you had Google alerts on your phone for both Amber Heard and Johnny Depp for many years? Witness, no. Ms. Vasquez, she's going to state her objection. Rutterhoff,
have you ever had Google alerts for Johnny Depp and Amber Heard on your phone?
No.
So if others said you did, they would be lying?
Yes. Who said that she had Google alerts for Depp and Heard? Oh man, I wonder who said that. I'm very curious. All right, so Camille says, objection, assumes facts, not an evidence, argumentative, and well, it's asked and answered.
Describe your relationship with James Franco.
We had a business together with Vince Jolivet where we're doing Elysium Bandini Studios. We've been friends for a very long time.
Do you consider yourself still a friend of James Franco?
Yes, I would say, oh, wait, do we have a deposition of James Franco? Because it's interesting how she's making some accusations towards Jennifer Howell, and then now she's pivoting to James Franco. So I was like, is James Franco the one who's saying that, like, oh, she's obsessed with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, and she has to Google alerts? Like, where is this coming from? Hold up a second. Do we have a James Franco deposition? I don't think we do, right? No, or maybe not yet. I don't know if he ever even did a deposition. Okay. All right, they're estranged now.
Do you consider yourself still a friend of James Franco?
Yes, I would say estranged at the moment, but yes.
How long has it been since you've spoken with James Franco?
I spoke to James in October of last year.
And what did you speak with James Franco about in October of last year?
Objection calls for hearsay. We spoke about many things. We honestly just caught up. We had not spoken in a very long time.
Did you speak about anything relating to Amber Heard in your October 2020 phone call?
There was possibly one reference to it, which he was going to say he was going to do the right thing.
He said he was going to do the right thing?
Yes.
And did he say what that was?
He did not, and I did not ask.
You didn't ask James Franco whether he saw bruises on Amber Heard on May 22nd, 2016?
Objection, lack of foundation, calls for hearsay, assumes facts, not an evidence. No, I did not.
And I want to make sure that I have your answer correct. So you have never is what I asked. You said, no, I did not. Have you ever asked James Franco whether he saw bruises on Amber Heard on May 22nd, 2016?
Bye, BetaBot. Have a good one. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Hello, Big Vaughn. No. Same objections.
Have you ever had a relationship with Mr. James Franco earlier in time?
Objection, vague and ambiguous, lack of foundation. No.
Have you ever told anyone that you were married to James Franco in an earlier life and had children with him?
Objection, lack of foundation, argumentative. No, I have not.
You've never told anyone that?
No. Objection, asked and answered, and it's harassment, Elaine. No.
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I got your answer.
No, I have not.
Now, James Franco had a very good childhood friend, does he not?
Objection, calls for speculation, foundation, assumes facts, not an evidence, irrelevance.
Vince?
Yes.
Okay, what's his full name?
Vince Jolivet.
Okay, and what is your current relationship with Vince?
Very close friends.
And there was a time that you had a riff, if you will, with Vince because of the business you had with James Franco and Vince. And you had, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Objection assumes facts, not an evidence. Is compound, is vague and ambiguous. Yes.
And what was that? What was that problem of that issue?
Objection, vague and ambiguous. The witness. The rift, it was over business. They did not follow through on their side of the business agreement that we were doing with the film company.
I didn't hear the last part. They didn't follow through with the business with what?
We were doing a merger between their production company and the charity to create a philanthropic studio. There were a lot of things they did not follow through on that business argument and agreement, and that is why we had a rift.
When you say they did not, was that James Franco and Vince?
Their company. So I can't say which individual, but them collectively, yes.
Do you recall what that was?
Vince, September 2017 is whenever I would say it was kind of a big blowout between Vince and I.
And for what time period after that were you not speaking?
Probably till fall of 2019, I think.
And there was a period of time that you were also not speaking with James Franco as a result of the blow up?
Different reasons. James had moved in with me and had moved out in April of 2017 because he was going through something personal and we didn't speak. Well, actually, that's not true. We've spoken a few times after he moved out, but he was kind of going through his own issue. Hi, I love the narration. Oh, thank you, thank you. Did you ever ask James Franco for help?
Can you ask James Franco for an autograph?
Okay. She says,
I missed the part in your answer there. I think you said that James moved in with you and then moved out, and then I missed your dates.
He moved out in April of 2017, and we spoke a few times over the year, and he was going through his own kind of journey.
When did James Franco move in with you?
If I'm not mistaken, September of 2016. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Hold on. 16 to 17.
Why did James Franco move in with you in September 2016?
He was having personal issues.
Did you have a romantic relationship any time with James Franco?
No.
Have you ever had a romantic relationship any time with Vince?
Yes.
When?
God, it's been so long ago, I can't even tell you. Probably it would have been like before 2009, I would say, because I started dating someone it was before 2009.
Okay. Have you ever had a conversation with Vince at any time about whether James Franco saw the bruises on Amber Heard on May 22nd, 2016?
Objection assumes facts, not an evidence, lack of foundation. I don't think he knows. I have no idea. I think the only conversations that we had consistently with is for him to come forward and say what he did and did not see. I don't know what he did or did not see. That's his story to tell. Ms. Hall.
And when you're saying he, are you referring to James Franco?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you've never been present for any interaction between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Is that correct?
I've been to their home before where they have been, I've seen each other there, but yes, nothing of record that I can think of, no.
How many times were you at Johnny Depp's and Amber Heard's home where the two of them were there?
Amber and I had dinner one night where she cooked and he came home after that. And then when Whitney was dating Ryan Adams, I was there to meet Ryan with Whitney and Savannah was there and Amber. Who was Savannah again? Savannah. If it's the same Savannah, is it like the stylist or something? I think maybe. Hi, Fire Nitros. How's it going? Hi, Tina. So, for those of you guys who are just joining us, we are reading Jennifer Howell's deposition. Elaine Broderhoff is doing the questionings. We have Camille Vasquez who's doing the objections. And then also there's another lawyer in the room as well. There's a bunch of lawyers, but the one that's on the transcript, we have Jennifer Howell's lawyer as well, who was, going toe-to-toe with Elaine a little bit, but we'll see. Okay, so.
All right. Any other time?
At their house? Not that I'm aware of, no.
All right. The dinner that was cooked by Amber that Johnny came in later, when was that?
I don't know the date. Jack Depp, he was playing video games. I can tell you what happened, but I don't recall the date.
Do you recall the year?
No, ma'am.
And do you recall how long you saw Johnny Depp that night?
No, he came in at the end of the night, talked to us in the kitchen. No clue how long that took.
Okay. Do you remember which house that was in?
The penthouse down at the Eastern Standard.
Okay. And at any other time that you said that you were there to meet Ryan Adams, do you have a recollection whether Johnny Depp was ever there at night?
I feel like he came in at the end as well, but I'm not sure on that.
Do you recall when that was?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall that year?
When Whitney was dating Ryan is the only way I could date that, so no.
Do you know when Whitney was dating Ryan?
She was in my life, so I would say like 15 or 16.
Can you do any better than that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have you ever seen any interaction between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp on any occasion other than these two?
Her birthday dinner that she was having at a sushi restaurant and just the heaven events that they came together. Okay, so from what I'm reading the transcript, because I wasn't really sure about the relationship between Amber Heard and Jennifer Howell, seems like they're friends. Like, I was like, maybe there's acquaintances. Maybe it's just like, oh, my sister's friend or my sister's boss. But it seems like they were friends. They're doing like dinners together and stuff like that. Amber Heard invited her to her birthday and stuff. So I would just say friends.
Which year was the birthday dinner at the sushi restaurant for Amber Heard?
They were married. So I'm going to say I would go with 16, 15, 16.
Do you recall which?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall that it was at a sushi restaurant?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall who else was there?
Either Mark or Johnny Houston. I get them confused. They're twins. That's who I was sitting with. Tosh, Whitney. That's who I was talking to.
And other than the
Sorry, when it said Tosh, I was like, wait, is this the ex-girlfriend? No, I don't think it's the ex-girlfriend. Okay.
and other than the birthday dinner,
you may want to mute the mic occasionally for the true Elaine effect. That's usually me when I come back from the bathroom. So you'll definitely get some of that if I go to the bathroom. You're trying to picture Elaine in a high school drama class. I've never announced what my alerts would be. That would be weird. LOL. Wait. Have you guys seen the new thing that's been going around on Instagram? It's like the AI pictures of people in their it's like taking your image and then making you look like you're in high school with like the school pictures and stuff like that. Have you guys been seeing that? We can put Elaine in that. But yeah, it looks so crazy real. It's wild. Okay.
other than the birthday dinner that was either in April 2015 or 2016, and the night of the dinner cooking that he came later, and the third time to meet Ryan Adams, have you ever, and then the Art of Elysium, Heaven Nights, have you ever seen Johnny Depp and Amber Heard interact at all together?
Not to my recollection.
How many times did Johnny Depp and Amber Heard attend the Art of Elysium event together?
Two or three.
Do you recall which years?
Linda Perry. So I think that would have been before 2014. Marina Abramovic, which is where Amber was honored, which would have been 2015. And then the Vivienne Westwood, 2016.
And any of the occasions that you saw Amber Heard and Johnny Depp interact together, did you observe them at any time fighting in any manner, verbally or physically?
No.
It would be accurate to say that you have no personal knowledge of whether Amber Heard was the victim of domestic violence, but Mr. Depp, isn't that correct?
Objection calls for legal conclusion. It's vague and ambiguous and compound. From what I've seen with my own eyes, that is true.
And you have not been present for any interaction between Amber and Whitney Heard involving fighting of any nature, verbal or physical. Is that correct?
Oh, I think another thing was, I think Jennifer Howell said that Whitney would confide in her about how Amber would I think they got about the physical stuff between her and Amber. Yeah, something about being in a hotel and throwing wine at each other or something. And then from childhood stuff. If I remember correctly. High school yearbook picture. Yeah, I don't know. It's like on Instagram right now. It's just there's a bunch of people that are using the AI, and it's basically just taking your picture of yourself, making you look like you're in high school. It was kind of cool, but I could see how it could also be creepy as well. Okay, let's see what it says. So you've not been present for the interaction between Amber Heard fighting. That is correct. Okay.
So everything you're testifying to as the truth, and you've used the truth quite a few times. Would you agree with me?
Yes. Objection, argumentative.
Would you agree with me that you've used the term the truth many times?
Yes. Objection, vague and ambiguous.
So everything you're testifying to as the truth is based on your conversation with others telling you about the events or conversations. Would you agree?
My conversations with Whitney is all I base this off of. So this is what Whitney told me. That is where this all comes from. See, yeah, it would be different if it was Whitney's friend told Jennifer Howell, but she's getting all this information from Whitney herself, the sister. And if anything, if she was getting information from Whitney, it would probably be biased information that would have favored Amber Heard more. But it seems like Whitney and her sister had their own rifts that they were going through, And she probably confided, possibly in Jennifer Howell as a true friend, true close friend, and maybe someone who's felt like a sister to them.
As you never witnessed firsthand any of the events that you say Whitney told you, correct?
No.
I asked that so badly. When you say no, does that mean I'm incorrect or?
Sorry about that. Yes, you're correct.
Okay. And in fact, the vast majority of these events were more than 5 years ago and are based on your recollection of conversations with Whitney that you're recalling now. Isn't that correct?
Oh, she tried to say that, like, oh, you might have bad memory. You might be recalling it incorrectly. Objection. Compound assumes facts, not an evidence, and is asked and answered. The witness. Yes.
Okay. And you said in one of your declarations,
Oh, they're called declarations. That's right. I kept calling it depositions or affidavits. Okay, declarations. That's the word that I was looking for. Oh my goodness. Declaration. Okay, I'm going to remember that.
and you said in one of your declarations that you were providing text, emails, opening profiles to substantiate your recollections. Do you recall saying that?
Yes. Objections assumes facts, not an evidence. Yes.
Okay. But in fact, there are no text, emails, or other documents supporting any of the statements you say Whitney Heard has said. Isn't that correct?
Objections assumes facts, not an evidence. It's overbroad, lack of foundation. I've provided everything that I could, and sadly, our servers only go back to 3 years when I called our tech guy. So that's why I don't have anything from that period of time.
All right. And just so we're clear, are you aware of any of the text, emails, and other documents that you possess provided to us that support any of the statements you say Whitney Heard said?
Savannah, maybe Whitney's friend, guess. I just remember the name Savannah. I think it was like a stylist or something, but there could be multiple Savannahs, maybe. Objection, compound. The witness. I'm not sure I understand. I don't understand what you're asking. Sorry.
I just want to make sure that we have a clear record here, and that my understanding is that you said that you would provide text, emails, any documents supporting these messages, these statements. But in fact, when you went back and you were unable to, because your server only goes back 3 years, and all these statements were roughly 5-6 years ago, correct?
Objections, misstates the witness's testimony, assumes facts, not an evidence, vague, ambiguous, compound. The witness. Yes, ma'am.
That's correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, and in fact, when you went through the documents in preparation for this deposition today, did you find any texts, emails, or documents that support the statements that you say that Whitney Heard made?
Objection, compound. No, ma'am, I could not access them. Darn, I wish, damn, would it be great if she had access to them somehow? I want to see what kind of evidence she would have had.
Okay. Have you ever taken any type of domestic violence training?
Objection, lack of relevance. I've had some training with like different groups we work with because we work with some of the people we work with in the homeless shelters have gone through abuse. So I would say not to a full training, but we definitely have been brought up to speed by several facilities we work with what blah, 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 by several facilities we work with about what to expect.
Okay. And when you say about what to expect, what do you mean by that?
Just when we go in the volunteer, what to expect from, just the population we work with is the best way to say it.
And what's your best recollection of that, what you've been told to expect in connection with domestic violence?
Objection, vague and ambiguous. It's compound. Just to be clear, we take artists in various populations, so we have to prep them. We kind of were trained per facility. We go in. So in some of those, there has been abuse to both children, women, veterans. We work with various populations. So depending on the facilities, it's kind of varies on how we interact with them. But just to be aware that they've gone through and to be sensitive to that. I mean, it's more elaborate than that, but I'm not exactly sure what you're looking for in that question or what I mean. I've been training a lot of various facilities, so I've learned a lot.
I'm just trying to understand. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you, and I didn't hear you. Please finish.
I'm not sure what you're asking. I don't think there's any way for me to answer any type of different trainings I've had for the different facilities in nearly past 24 years, if that makes sense.
So I'm just trying to understand what you mean when you say be sensitive to these women and children who have been abused. What is it that you're training your actors to be sensitive to?
Objection, that's vague and ambiguous. Yeah, I don't know. Their emotional needs, again, it depends on the facility, so it varies greatly to be sensitive to their emotional needs.
What facilities have you been to as a part of the Art of Elysium that is dealing with children of abuse or women of abuse?
Hello, Nasser. I mean, within the hospitals, starting out with, we've dealt with a lot of abuse situations from UCLA Trauma Center to Children's Hospital, Los Angeles, to Shriners, to patients who come in to do one-on-one workshops who have come in from different countries and been attacked. So, I mean, again, we're celebrating 24 years of service coming up. So it's varied greatly over the past years.
When were you at the UCLA training facility or at the hospital?
That was the second facility I believe we went in. Children's was the first, and then Shriners, UCLA, and Kaiser. were kind of next in line when we went into there.
When you say we, I guess I'm specifically asking for you. Did you go to the UCLA Training Center?
Trauma center, yes.
Trauma Center, okay.
In the beginning of the charity, I ran all the programs myself.
When is the last time you've been to the UCLA Trauma Center?
I have no idea. It's been a long time, I mean.
Please finish.
I have no idea. And the last time I've been to the UCLA.
Would you say more than 10 years?
Probably.
When's the last time you went to Children's Hospital?
I was there last month.
And what was in connection with any of the abused children? And was that in connection with any abused children or women?
No, that was for the Art of Elysium.
And when were your last at Shriners?
Again, I don't have dates. I can't really begin to even guess. Not even a clue.
Would you say more than 10 years?
I'm in the BSN program at Kaiser. BSN, behavioral. What is BSN? No, I would say less than 10 years.
More than 5?
I honestly cannot answer you on that. I would have to go back and look at the dates.
What about Kaiser? When is the last time that you were probably there?
Probably, I think like 16 or 17. Sorry, when she said 16, 17, she meant like 2016, 17. The last time I did a workshop there, I was there for probably like in 16 or 17 for a workshop.
Was the workshop? I'm sorry.
Can I just grab something to drink? It's in the other room.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, 5-minute break. Let's take a break. Okay, everyone, grab a drink, take a break. Ah, yummy. 5 seconds break. Everyone's going to the bathroom. All right, we're back from break, guys.
Miss Howell, I was in the middle of the question, I think, when we broke. And you just had indicated that you'd done a workshop in 2016 or 17 at Kaiser. Was the workshop related to any of the victims of abuse?
No, ma'am. Just to clarify, there's abuse victims within the facilities. They're not specific, just abuse facilities we work with, if that makes sense.
Are you aware of any of the dynamics? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Were you still talking?
No, I just wanted to say, if that makes sense, I just wanted to clarify because, I can't tell you when I've gone to just, domestic violence because it's within the facilities we work with. And some of the people that we work are within other facilities, just to clarify.
Are you aware of any of the dynamics in abusive relationships?
Objection, vague and ambiguous, assumes facts, not evidence, calls for expert opinion. No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any understanding of how damaging it is to the victim of abuse to be called a liar by people who don't know whether the allegations are true or false?
Ah, that's where she was going with. Objection. Ms. Howell, count to 5, please. Objection. Facts, not in evidence, calls for speculation. It's vague, ambiguous, calls for expert testimony. The witness, I can only imagine.
Now, you indicated that you read some of the transcript of the UK proceedings. Did you read all the transcripts?
I would say a vast majority, yes.
Did you look at any of the evidence that has been presented?
Objection, vague and ambiguous as to evidence. Hi, KK. Oh, Bachelors of Nursing. Okay, I know RN. Oh, very cool. My friend used to work at Kaiser. He was a ER doc there, but he moved from Kaiser to somewhere else so he can work with his wife. Now they work at the same hospital. I don't know if they carpool together though. I don't think so, but you were born at Kaiser. Hi, everyone. Hi, Axel. How are you doing today? How's it going? Did you have a good weekend?
Elaine v. Camille. Brilliant.
I don't know. I mean, right now, I guess we're getting Elaine v. Camille v. Jennifer Howell's lawyer. All right. So did you read all the transcript? I would say the majority. Did you look at the evidence that's been presented? Jennifer Howell. By evidence, what I mean is... Oh, sorry. This is Elaine.
By evidence, what I mean is in addition to the testimony, they call them trial bundles, and they frequently refer to, you would see those in the transcripts referring to bundle 5 at, and there'd be a page number, there'd be photos, videos, audios, emails, texts. Did you read any of those?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to ask Alex if you're going to bring up exhibit number 8, please.
All right, technician complies.
I'm going to show you, Miss Howell, what's been marked at exhibit number 8, and then I'm going to ask Alex to play this. I'm going to ask if you can identify the individuals in this and whether you have ever seen this before.
Ms. Vasquez, before Alex, you hit play on Elaine's favorite video. What is this favorite video? Before Alex, you hit play on Elaine's favorite video. I'm going to lodge some objections. This is hearsay, lack of foundations, assumes facts, not in evidence. I mean, you haven't explained at all to this witness what you're about to show her. You haven't laid any foundation, Elaine, and it's irrelevant.
Well, I'm happy to say this is one of the exhibits that was presented at the UK trial. It is a videotape that is taped by Amber Heard of Mr. Depp of February 2016. And then I'm going to ask you, as we go through, we can identify the individuals and whether you've ever seen this video before.
Wait, which one is this? The cabinet slamming one?
I'm going to Miss Brotherhoff's description of the video and specifically the time is in dispute, so my objections stand. Jennifer Howell, may I say something just for the sake of time and just to keep everyone's time, just to be respectful? All I know and all I came forward with, and I want to be very clear about this, and I thought I was doing the right thing. I know what Whitney told me, why she came to stay with me, and why she asked me to stay with me. That's what I know. I've never pretended to know anything else nor acted that I do. I have why Whitney came to stay with me, why she told me she was coming to stay with me, and what she consistently told me the entire time she was there. Everything else you can ask all day long, I do not know. So all I wanted to do was tell the truth because I mistakenly thought that's what you do whenever you realize someone is not telling the truth. This is what I thought. So just to show me whatever, but we're just wasting everyone's time. I'm telling you what I know, and that's why I'm here. Miss Vasquez, I will agree. It is a waste of everyone's time to show a video to a witness that she was not present for. Miss Brotherhoff, I'm going to move to strike the entire speech that was just given by Miss Howell. And Alex, I would like you to please play this. All right, now they're playing the video. Miss Howell, I'm going to ask you, do you recognize the two individuals in that video? Ms. Vasquez, lack of foundation, hearsay assumes facts, not witnesses. The witness, yes. And who are they? Amber and Johnny? And I think you've already indicated that you never saw this video before. Is that correct? I've looked at a ton of stuff trying to make sense of all this online. I'm not sure if this is one of them or not. It's very easily could be. There's a ton of stuff out there and I've researched trying to make sense of it all for myself. So I'm not sure if I saw that one or not. You can't recall in all of the research trying to make sense of things whether you saw the video? Objection, asked and answered. I cannot say for sure that this is the video I saw, but I'm sure. Have you ever seen Mr. Depp? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Are you finished? Yeah. Okay. Have you ever seen Mr. Depp behave like that? Oh, this must be the cabinet slamming in the kitchen thing. Okay, so again, the date is in dispute. We don't even know when that even happened. They're like arguing about it, but I guess Amber Heard is saying that happened, was it a couple months before they broke up? What text even huge? Then not sure. Elaine tries so hard all the time. Money spent. All the spent is unreal to me. Hi, Gigi. How are you doing today? How's it going? What if anything? As a survivor to deviate so insulting to listen to Elaine and Amber pretend that H was the victim here. In other words, Elaine trying to show JH is no expert and clueless. Ridiculous. Also, what's with this massive Twitter JD hate campaign I see? Is it because of Elon? LOL. I don't know. I haven't been on Twitter. What's going on with that? Exactly, Jane is sickening. I know it's her job, but I've never been in the shoes someone paid to like defend that. Most likely, yeah, I haven't been on Twitter/X. Elaine, I'm going to ask you to take a look at number 9. Before we pull that up, you had made a statement about the May 21st incident and the allegations by Ms. Heard and have suggested you don't believe she was actually injured by Mr. Depp on May 21st, 2016. Is that correct? Objection, vague and ambiguous like a foundation, assumes facts not in evidence and is compound. Probably my letter to Whitney would be the time that I think I would have probably made that statement. And do you recall suggesting that you didn't believe that, let me finish my question, that you didn't believe that Amber Heard had been beaten by or been a victim of domestic violence of Johnny Depp on May 21st, 2016. Is that correct? Objections, assumes facts not in evidence. The witness, yes. Okay, and on what basis do you believe that? I have made my entire basis on this with what Whitney shared with me while she lived with me. Had she ever told me one time, said to me that she was concerned for her sister's safety, I would have gotten people to go over there and help intervene in that situation. That was not what Whitney ever said to me. It was the complete opposite. That is why I have never believed that she'd been hurt by him, because with everything that Whitney said, I don't know why she would leave that detail out. And what's the basis of your believing that Mr. Depp did not commit domestic violence on Amber Heard on May 21st, 2016? Is that correct? Oh, sorry. And that's the basis, not what's the basis. That's my basis for believing on everything. Yes. All right. That's all I have. Just to be clear, that's all I've ever had. So please, if we can talk about that, that would be great. All right. Can we bring up, Alex, can you bring up number 9 now, please? I'm going to show you what's been marked as deposition exhibit number 9, and it's a picture that was taken May 21st, 2016 at 8:23 p.m. Do you recognize this person in the picture? I do. And do you see the red marks on the face? Oh, I wonder which picture they showed. The one that was darkened or the other one? There's been 2 different, remember how they put it side by side in the Virginia trial? It was like, and they brought it up to Amber Heard's like witness, expert witness. Oh my gosh. What was that craziness with that again? It was like, are these the same pictures? And like, I feel like he couldn't really give like a concrete answer.
Oof, oof, oof.
And do you see the red marks on her face?
Objection, vague and ambiguous. It seems facts, not an evidence. Calls for hearsay and misstates the record. The witness, I do.
And is this Amber Heard?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Let's take this one down. Let's go to number 10. Before I go to 10, have you ever seen this picture before from exhibit number 9?
I will say the same thing. I'm not sure what I've seen, what I've not. It looks familiar, but again, I've looked at a lot of stuff trying to make sense of this, so same answer.
Okay, now Alex, if you can break up number 10, please. I'm going to show you what's been marked at exhibit number 10. This is a photo taken on May 21st, 2016 at 9:22. Do you recognize this to be Amber Heard?
So I wonder if Amber's trying to, sorry, not Amber. I wonder if Elaine is just showing her all this evidence to somehow make Jennifer Howell feel bad and like convince her like, hey, like here's the evidence that we have. Like you should feel bad calling her a liar and Whitney a liar. Like this is someone who's been abused, you know? How dare you come out and talk against us? I don't know. I feel like she's trying to get it like Jennifer Howell's like, I don't know, like try to get her to feel bad. But I don't know if Jennifer Howell's looking at these pictures and like, oh, well, okay, like, you know, maybe she was abused, or if she's just like, you know, these pictures look, okay. All right.
And do you see the red marks on her face?
Objection, vague and ambiguous, assumes facts, not an evidence, calls for hearsay, misstates the record, like a foundation. Yes.
Okay. And do you recall whether you ever seen this picture before?
I do not recall.
All right. Let's take that down. Number 11. I will show you what has been marked as deposition, exhibit number 11, dated May 21st, 2016 at 9:22 p.m. Do you recognize this as Amber Heard?
Yes.
All right. Do you see...
No, not the turd. Not the turd. Oh, God, that's so gross, so gross. Okay.
All right. Do you see red marks on her face in this picture?
A bunch of objections. Yes.
And do you ever recall seeing this picture before?
I do not recall.
With this one as well, the last two, do you know whether these pictures were admitted as evidence in the UK trial?
I do not. Objection, calls for speculation.
I'm sorry, you'll need to answer that again.
I have no idea.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to now go to exhibit number 12, Alex. I'm going to take you to look at exhibit number 12, taken on May 21st, 2016 at 9:24 p.m. Do you recognize this as Amber Heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see the marks on her face in this picture?
Objection, vague and ambiguous, compound, assumes facts, not an evidence, misstates the record. The witness, yes.
Okay. Do you recall whether you ever seen this picture before?
I do not recall.
And do you know whether this was an evidence in the UK trial as well?
Ms. Vasquez, calls for speculation. No idea.
Okay. Let's go down and go to 13.
All right, 13 coming up. It's frozen. Is it here? Elaine can't see.
Miss Howell, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Howell Exhibit number 13. This was taken on May 21st, 2016 at 9:25 p.m. Do you recognize this as Amber Heard?
Yes.
Do you see the red marks on her face?
Yes. Objection, assumes facts, not an evidence, vague and ambiguous. The witness, yes.
And have you ever seen this picture before?
I do not recall.
Okay. Do you know whether this was an evidence in the UK trial?
Objection, calls for speculation. The witness, no idea. Ms. Bredehoff.
Okay, number 14. I'm going to show you deposition exhibit number 14. It's dated May 21st, 2016 at 9:25. Do you recognize this as Amber Heard?
How many pictures do we have? Is it just the same picture, but like, oh, it must be the same picture, but like different angles or something. I think we had a couple of her pictures, right? Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you see the red marks on her face in the picture?
Objection, vague and ambiguous, assumes facts, not an evidence. Yes.
Okay. Have you ever seen this picture before?
I do not recall.
Do you know whether this was an evidence in the UK trial?
I do not.
Okay, let's go to 15. Do you recognize this as Amber Heard?
Again, this was taken at 11:57 p.m., same day.
Do you see the red marks on her face?
Camille objects. The witness, yes.
Have you seen this picture before?
I do not recall.
And do you know whether this was an evidence in the UK trial?
No. All right, more pictures, more pictures. Now we have a video clip.
Miss Howell, I'm going to show you what's in marked at exhibit number 16, Howell Exhibit number 16. This is a video clip from the elevators in the Eastern Columbia building. That's the penthouse you're referring to. If you look down at the bottom, it's camera number 2. It says 5/21/2016 at 8:28 p.m., which they do with the 24-hour time. So we're talking, I think it would be around, wait, no? Wait, 2028 is 8, not 10 p.m. Elaine! 2028, what you do to 24 hours time. So we're talking, I think this would be, if I'm getting that right, 10:28 p.m. Oh, you got it wrong. Do you see that? No response. I'm going to ask you to take a look at the video clip, and then I'm going to ask you if you recognize anyone in there. Then I'll ask you some questions afterwards. Do you recognize that gentleman? Objection, vague and ambiguous. I'm going with it's Johnny Depp. I mean, I couldn't really get a clear view, but I'm going with the hat, the side face. Yes. Do you recognize the two other men with him? No. Okay. Have you ever seen this clip before? Not that I don't recall with all. Do you know whether this was in the evidence in the UK proceeding? No clue. Now, I'm going to ask you go ahead to, if you can bring up exhibit number 17, please. Do you recognize this person in the picture? Yes. Who is it? Amber. Okay. Do you see the bruising and marks on her face? Objection, vague, ambiguous, assumes facts not in evidence, hearsay, lack of foundation. Yes. Do you recall ever seeing this picture before? I do not recall. Do you know whether this was evidence in the UK trial? I do not. I'm going to ask you, Alex, if you can go to 18 now. Let's see. Do you recognize this as Amber Heard in the picture? Yes, ma'am. All right. Do you see bruising on Amber's face? Objection, assumes facts not in evidence, vague and ambiguous. The witness, yes. And have you ever seen this picture before? I do not recall. Again, same questioning. Do you know if you see this in the UK? She says no. Now we exhibit number 9. All right, so quite a few exhibits. I'm just going to keep scrolling down. Bunch of pictures. It's all Amber Heard. Trying to show her all these pictures that they have, their evidence with the bruising. Maybe try to get Jennifer Howell to back down. All right, next. I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 23. This is a text message from Whitney to Kevin Murphy. Do you know who Kevin Murphy is? Through Whitney, I believe, yes. I believe that's the Kevin she referred to. And do you know what Kevin Murphy's position was with Mr. Depp at the time of the text message? March 23, 2015. Objection, assumes facts not in evidence. Not specifically. I just know that Whitney communicated with someone named Kevin. She referred to him often. And was it your understanding that he worked for Mr. Depp? Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right. And I'm sorry, but I think you got your dates. You said that Whitney lived with you from May 2015 to April 2016, correct? Yes, ma'am. Okay. So this has been roughly a month and a half before Whitney moved in with you. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. So if you look at the first page, it says, "Good morning, sir." So, Johnny destroyed Amber's closet, and there's some other damage to Penthouse 5. Do you know what PH5 is? I'm sure Penthouse 5. I would not know the difference between penthouses, but I know there's a bunch of them. Okay. Then she says, "You're the lucky person I should talk to about that." Correct. And their answer is, "I suppose so. I'm up." And then Whitney says, "Insanity. Just fucking insanity." And then there's a picture here of some damages. Have you ever seen this text message or this picture before? Objections, assumes facts not in evidence. Not that I recall. Okay. Do you know whether this was introduced in evidence in the UK trial? No, ma'am. Okay. Thank you. All right. This is the same day, a continuation of text messages from Whitney to Kevin Murphy, and it has some additional pictures in it. Would you agree this appear to be depicting damage, property damage? Objection, vague, ambiguous, assumes facts not in evidence, is compound, and it calls for hearsay. The witness, yes, ma'am. Okay. Have you ever seen this picture, this particular text message with these pictures before? I do not recall. Do you know whether these were admitted to evidence in the UK proceedings? No, ma'am. Okay. I can imagine the potential reaction from AH to WH after her drunk comment on the stand in front of the world, unknowingly embarrassing herself if she had to follow it with her job then. What was the drunk comment again? I don't remember. Let's not forget the two sets of lawyers, including the prominent Me Too lawyer bailed on AH. Oh, you're talking about Roberta Kaplan. And then the lawyers that bailed on, just like the lawyers that bailed on Shit Business. I always wondered if Whitney said all she did was just because AH is her sister against JD, or mentioned payoff or warned. Probably just family members. Family members tend to stick together. I heard the cabinet issue was his mom just passed up, but I'm not sure. That's what I heard as well. I heard that he was slamming on the cabinets because it was either... No, it was because of, I think he had just found out that his business partner was stealing money from him. I think that's what it was. I think. Because I think when his mom passed away, him and Amber Heard were, by that point, not even really talking. Words can be hurtful but never hurt her. Just her cabinets, maybe her megapines. Also curious that Age always tell WH actual truth or partial. Just have no clue how Age could remember so many false details and can't remember what I wore yesterday. LOL. Well, remember the staircase incident? We actually had 3 recollections of it. We had Johnny Depp's version, and then we had Amber Heard's version, which was different from Whitney's version. It was 3 different versions of the staircase incident. Okay, I'm going to ask you to take a look at the next Howell 25. I'm going to ask you if this is another continuation of the text message from Whitney Hurd to Kevin Murphy. And it says, just to give you an idea. And he says, be down later. I'll call you later. And there's some pictures here. Would you agree these pictures reflect property damage? Objections, assumes facts not in evidence, calls for hearsay, it's vague and ambiguous. I mean, from the top of the portion, I can see it. I'm not sure what I'm looking at down here. I don't see any damage down below, but the top there, yes, I see something was damaged. Okay. Have you ever seen these pictures before or these text messages? I do not recall. Okay. Do you know whether these were admitted to evidence in the UK? No, ma'am. No clue. This is a continuation of the text message from Kevin to Whitney. I'm going to ask if you've ever seen these pictures before. I do not recall. Would you agree they reflect property damage? Objections, assumes facts not in evidence, calls for hearsay, it's vague, ambiguous, compound. The witness, yes. Do you know whether these were admitted to evidence as a part of the UK trial? No, ma'am, I do not. I'm going to take a look at deposition exhibit number 27. Do you recognize this picture to be Amber Heard? Yes. Okay, and do you see some bruising at the hairline? Objections, assumes facts not in evidence, it calls for hearsay, it's vague, ambiguous. No, ma'am. Honestly, I can't really tell what that is. It looks discolored, but I don't know what that is. All right. Do you see the red mark there right at the hairline along with the discoloration? Objections, assumes facts not in evidence, calls for hearsay, it's vague, ambiguous. I see right there where there's like a different color. That's what I see. I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to on the hairline. Okay. Have you ever seen this picture before? I don't recall. Do you know whether this was an evidence in the UK trial? I do not. I'm going to show you what this is marked as exhibit number 28. Have you ever been to Amber Heard's bedroom at the penthouse? No, ma'am. I feel like she gave me a tour at some point, but I don't recall going to the bedroom. Do you recognize this bed? No. Okay. Have you ever seen this picture before? I do not recall. Do you agree that it appears there to be damage to the frame of the bed? Objections, assumes facts not in evidence, hearsay, vague, ambiguous. With the witness, yes, ma'am. Never heard too, if they didn't have the dog stairs to the bed, it would also be impossible for the dogs to get on the bed as they were tiny. Too bad the DNA wasn't done. Gross. You know, I used to live in this apartment building in San Francisco where they required you to submit your dog's DNA. That way, if they find poop on the property, they would do a DNA testing on it. That's what they said. I feel like they never did it though, but it was really funny. It was like I had to get a swab of like my 2 corgis for the DNA testing. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they should start doing that more because it's actually crazy how often you find dog shit in an apartment building because people don't clean up after their dog. I don't know. It's like really weird to me because this is a community area. Like you're gonna bring your dog out there to poop, and like, do you want to step on poop? Do you want to smell poop? Do you want to see poop? Like, just fucking pick it up. I don't know. That it was always baffling to me why people don't pick up their dog poop. But anyways, yep, gross indeed. Okay, so Elaine, have you ever seen this picture before? I do not recall. It says, "Why be a fraud? All is such bullshit." Do you recognize where that's written? I asked that so badly. Let me rephrase it, okay? I'm going to ask you to take a look at the language. That's the writing that's on there. Would you agree that it's in gold or some color close to gold? Yes. All right. And it says, "Why be a fraud? All is such bullshit." Do you recognize that handwriting? No. I wonder, do you guys remember all the evidence that Elaine is referring to, or do you want me to have it up as a refresher? I remember where it is. I think they have like a list of all the evidence somewhere. Like for me, I remember all the stuff, but I know there are some people that might not remember. Trial exhibits. Maybe this. Oh, I wonder. I feel like there's a way where they just had it all in there. Was this it? Nope. Nope. Refresher, please. Let's see. Give me a second. It's not audio. Pictures. 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 Oh, here it is. Writing on the counter. I think. Oh, this is it. This is what Elaine is referring to. All right, here's your refresher. Have you ever been in the kitchen in the penthouse? Objection, vague and ambiguous. Let me ask it differently. Have you ever been in the kitchen of the penthouse in which Amber and Johnny lived?
Yes, I have.
Do you recognize this as being a part of the kitchen?
Not from that photo, no.
Do you remember what color the countertops were?
No, I just know that there was an island to the right. I sat there while she cooked and talked to her.
Do you remember the color the island was?
No.
Okay. Do you know, I take it that you've never seen this picture before, correct?
I do not recall this photo at all.
Do you know whether this was an evidence in the UK trial?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay, you can take that one down. I'm going to ask you to take a look at what is exhibit number 7. Alex, you can bring that up.
I'm going to take a look at exhibit number 7, and I will represent you this judgment decision of the High Court of Justice, Queen Bench Division of Justice Nicol in the case of Mr. Depp versus News Group newspaper, also known as The Sun and Dan Budin. It's 129 pages, 585 paragraphs, and it's dated November 2nd, 2020. Have you read that judgment?
Yes, I actually believe, I do not recall which one I've read, but I read one of them. Well, was it your understanding there's more than one judgment in the United Kingdom?
No, I'm just saying I don't understand. I don't know about this document, but that was not my understanding that there was more than one judgment. No.
Do you have a recollection of reading a very long opinion from Justice Nicol relating to his finding the case that Johnny Depp brought against the Sun newspaper and Dan Budin?
Yes.
Okay. Did you read the whole 129 pages?
I skimmed it. I would not say I read it in depth, but yeah, I looked at it.
Okay. Now, you were not mentioned once in that decision. Would you agree?
Objection, calls for speculation. The witnesses already testified she didn't read it word for word.
Do you recall seeing your name anywhere in this decision?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And would you agree that the court found that Mr. Depp engaged in at least 10 episodes of domestic violence against Amber Heard?
Objections, calls for legal conclusion, assumes facts not in evidence. The witness, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you aware that Mr. Depp testified under oath after this judgment came out that there was no evidence that he wanted to present in the UK proceedings that he was not allowed to present?
Objections, misstates the record, lack of foundations, assumes facts not in evidence. I did not know that.
Are you aware that Mr. Depp has testified under oath that this judgment was there was no witness that he wanted to call in the UK proceeding that he was not allowed to call?
Objections, assumes facts not in evidence, calls for legal conclusion. No. It also misstates Mr. Depp's testimony.
Now, why is it you think that would be a...
Wait a second.
Now, why is it that you think that you would be in a better position than Justice Nicol, having heard the extensive amount of testimony and evidence over 3 weeks to decide what the truth is?
Well, because he probably believed the liars. Objections, argumentative, calls for legal conclusion, improper, hypothetical, assumes facts not in evidence, misstates the witness testimony. The only truth that I've ever spoken to or tried to speak to is what Whitney said. And what she said is she was either lying when she came to live with me and everything she told me then, or she lied there. That's all. And that was very alarming to me. It seems like a huge miscarriage of justice. That is all I can speak to. And that is where I keep saying that is all. If you want me to ask about, if you want to ask me about, that is all the knowledge I have.
All right. Let's go to the next deposition exhibit, number 30. Before we go there, let me just do a follow-up. Is it your belief that because of things you say, Whitney said to you, that everything that was presented in this trial in the UK in July of 2020 is false?
Objection, vague and ambiguous, compound, calls for legal conclusion, argumentative, and it calls for hearsay. I have no way to speak to that. No, I can never say what happened, did not happen, that I was not privy to. I only know what Whitney told me day by day, play by play, and it did not add up to what she said. That's all I know.
Okay, let's now go ahead to exhibit number 30.
You need a Jamie, JRE's Jamie. We should go do a drinking game. Every time Elaine says UK trial, we drink. Yeah, drink some water. Paraphrasing what Whitney heard was asked by Elaine if she was drinking, and her reply was, "Oh, it was rare if I wasn't drinking during that time period." Paraphrasing when Whitney was asked by Elaine if she was drinking. Oh, yes. Okay, I do remember that. That's what came out of Whitney's mouth, right? I think.
And before we go into detail on that, if I understand you correctly, you're indicating that Whitney Heard, between the time period of May 2015 and April 2016, told you that Amber Heard was an abusive person. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, in great detail.
And so, what did you do about that?
Nothing.
Why not?
I honestly never realized it was my place to be involved in this, and I would not be involved with it at all had Whitney not gotten on the stand. This is none of my business. And with what you're showing me, I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, I actually do love Amber. I actually love Whitney because Whitney shared a lot of their childhood with me and a lot of what they went through. I feel very bad for both of them. And even though I'm coming forward with the truth as I know it, and you're going to try to paint it as I don't care about these people, I care about them very much. So I'm going to ask you again, because I moved to strike that answer. Why did you take no action if you believe passionately that Amber Heard was an abuser? Yeah, so that is a very legitimate question from Elaine, because Jennifer Howell did say that, like, oh, if she knew that Amber Heard was being abused by Johnny Depp, she would have done everything to try to intervene and get her out of there, whatever, whatever. But then Elaine is saying, well, okay, fine. Well, you knew that Amber Heard was the abuser. Why didn't you do anything there? So, Ms. Vasquez, objection. Assumes facts not in evidence. Misstates the witness's testimony. The witness. Because in my mind, he was a man and she was a woman. Yeah, because I was thinking about that too. Because when you hear about a man being abused, people are kind of like, they kind of just probably just like wave it off, right? Like, the guy should be fine. He should be able to deal with it. He's bigger, he's stronger, whatever. So that's what I was thinking why she wouldn't have wanted to intervene. Probably because it was easier to just like her, to have her wave her hand and, say it wasn't really a huge deal, maybe. I honestly think Whitney misspoke when she said that she was, rarely being sober. Oh, we need a clip of that. I remember there was honestly, like, Kay, when you just said that, I like kind of like sort of remember, like, I don't know, there's like a memory that kind of just like synapses just like connecting when you just said that. I may have thought the same thing. Maybe I have to rewatch it. Okay, so Jennifer Howell says, because in my mind, he was the man, she was the woman. And with what Whitney told me about what happened between them, they're sisters. And however they dealt with that ultimately was between them. So I, again, listened to her and talked to her at length about all of this at length. And I never honestly, had she ever told me Amber had been abused one time, as God is my witness, hand on a Bible, I would have gone to do something. I would never knowingly let Amber be hit or abused in any way, shape, or form. That is not the narrative that Whitney was telling me. And anybody who knows me or knows what I've done in the past 24 years, I would never, ever let a woman be abused. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. That's what she was telling me that was happening between her and she and Johnny. I did not think of the same about doing for a man. That is the God honest truth. So there, she's being really truthful right there. And I can totally understand how, like, I can see it, people reacting like this. Like when you hear it's a man being abused, you're kind of just like, oh, whatever, you just wave it off, right? But when you hear it's a woman being abused, you're like, oh my God, it's much more serious. Like she's much weaker, da 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 da. So, Ms. Bertahall, move to strike as non-responsive. Ms. Vasquez, it's actually responsive. Ms. Bertahall, let's go to, it's a responsive answer. It's not a responsive. Everything that what I'm tell you when I'm truly doing this, you're moving to strike, and that's not fair. No worries, Ms. Howell, says Vasquez. Okay, Bertahall. Just so, Ms. Court Reporter, just in case you didn't get it, because I think it got interrupted. It was also on hearsay. But in any event, let's go to this exhibit. This is a text message between you and Amber Heard on January 11th, 2018. Now, this is fully a year and a half after you say Whitney moved out in April 2016. Correct. Sorry, let me redo that. Now, this is fully a year and a half after you say that Whitney moved out in April 2016. Correct. Yes, 100%. Okay. And this, you believe in your heart of hearts, God is your witness that Amber's an abuser, abused Whitney, abused Johnny. This is your text exchange in January of 2016. Correct? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Now she's going to read out. Are you kidding me? I just received a check. I am utterly without words. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When can I see you? I love you. I am so grateful. I am in tears. So why would you love somebody who's an abuser? Objection, argumentative. I would go with argumentative on that one, but I would love her to this day. And the fact that you can compare me trying to do what is morally right and coming forward in the justice system and maybe not love someone is not fair. All right, let's go to exhibit number 31. I'm going to show you what's in marked exhibit number 31. Do you recognize this document? Yes, ma'am. Okay. This is a check that was paid to the Art of Elysium by Amber Heard in the amount of $250,000 dated January 9, 2018. Would you agree? Objections, assumes facts not in evidence, lack of foundation, calls for hearsay, misstates the record. See, if anything, like she's getting a check from Amber Heard. She's friends with Whitney. She knows like their mom. If anything, the fact that Jennifer Howell comes out against them just really shows that, like she doesn't really have a reason to. Like, she doesn't gain from anything. I think she really just came out because, and I believe her when she says she's doing it because, you know, she heard that Whitney lied and she just didn't feel okay about any of this. Nice answer, Jennifer Howell. I honestly think Whitney misspoke. It happens in very stressful situations. Very true. And even in non-stressful situations too. I misspeak all the damn time. Sometimes when I'm editing my videos, I'm like, oh my God, did I just say that? Oh, I wish I can go back and edit it. Okay. So we have a check from Amber Heard, $250K to the Art of Elysium. Camille. Objection, assumes facts not in evidence, lack of foundation, calls for hearsay, misstates the record. It was in honor of Amber Heard is how it was sent. Yes. Oh, that's right. I think this was actually from Elon Musk, right? I think Elon Musk sent this in honor of Amber Heard. It was actually from Amber herself, I think. Okay. So where on this document does it say it was in honor of Miss Heard? There's a note inside. Where's the note? I would have to check in with my COO. She keeps copies of the check. I don't know if she kept a copy of that or not. Ms. Howell, you were asked to produce all the documents responsive. Did you not undertake a complete investigation and thorough search to ensure you had all the responsive documents? Yes, to the best of my ability, 100%. And she gave me this, the COO. I don't know if this is what I got when I was asking for the copies of the check. Is there anything on here that suggests that this was not from Amber Heard? The note in the thing, yes, it was always not from her. It was on behalf of her or in honor of her, is how it is listed. You've never produced this note, have you? No, ma'am. Wouldn't it be pretty important to have that note if you're going to claim that Amber Heard didn't give you $250K in January of 2018? Objections, assumes facts on evidence, ask and answer it argumentative. It was anonymous donation on behalf of Amber Heard. Ooh, I think it's the Elon one. And you have no document that supports this, quote, anonymous donation on behalf of Amber Heard, do you? Not me, no. I mean, again, I'll have to go back and ask and see if we can. I have no idea. But everybody in the office knew it was an anonymous donation. Move to strike. Everybody else knew. Did you not make a thorough inquiry with your COO, especially when you're going to make a claim that Amber Heard now did not give you this money? I mean, I think they were able to prove that she didn't give the money, right? I could have sworn that was brought up again at some point. Not through Jennifer Howell, though. It was way before her testimony, wasn't it? Objection, assumes facts not in evidence, calls for hearsay, argumentative. It's bordering on harassment, is asked and answered. We're doing this during COVID. And, this is Jennifer Howell. We were doing this in COVID, and I had a baby, was on maternity leave, so we're trying to pull all the documents from all over the place. So to the best of our ability, yes. And if Amber gave it, that's amazing. I would still say thank you. That to me does not change anything at all. All right, that would be my next question. Wasn't this a very generous contribution for the Art of Elysium? Yes, ma'am. And in fact, far greater than the vast majority of your donations that you get, correct? Objections, assumes facts not in evidence. It's irrelevant. The witness, yes, ma'am. So why is it that you feel the need to detract or somehow take away from Amber being generous to you and giving you $250,000? Objections, assumes facts not in evidence, misstates the witness's testimony, argumentative, harassment. I'm not taking away her generosity at all. I'm incredibly grateful for that. If she wrote the check or someone else wrote the check on her behalf, either way, I'm incredibly grateful for that. So why was it important for you to say that it did not come from her, that it was coming from someone else? I don't know, Elaine, because maybe that was just the truth. Objections, assumes facts not in evidence, misstates the witness's testimony, it's argumentative. I'm not sure when you're speaking about that. If I was asked who it came from, it was an anonymous donation on her behalf in her honor. That is what I said. That's how it was given to us. That's the only reason why I've ever acknowledged it about it that way. I'm so grateful for everything Amber ever did for the charity. That's not in dispute. So would it be fair to say that a lot of donations that come through various bank accounts don't come directly from the personal checking account of an individual? Objections, assumes facts. Hi, Nacha, how are you doing today? How's it going? What's her point? Wow. Oh, because it was lol. Donations come in from gazillions different forms. So however, God, I haven't heard the word gazillion in so long. Gazillion! A childhood word. So however the donors want to donate is how they donate. Right. And some of them come out of mutual funds, some come out of different bank accounts, some of them are requested through check services. Would you agree? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Do you know whether this was one of Amber's account? From the note, we were led to believe it was from someone else on her behalf. This is the note that was never produced, correct? Yes, ma'am.
All right, now let me ask you based on this document here. Do you know whether this check came out of Amber Heard's account?
No, I do not.
I'm going to ask you to take a look at exhibit. Well, before we go to that, I'm going to recall that you testified a little bit earlier about James Franco and that you and Vince, his friend, asked him to tell the truth about what he saw on May 22nd, 2016. Do you recall that testimony?
Why are we jumping around here? Wait a second. Elaine, are you going to pull up Amber Heard's bank account and show us that it actually came from her account? What happened? Is she pivoting? Come on, Elaine, you better get back to that. Show us the proof that it came from Amber Heard's bank account. I just want to see. All right. She says yes.
All right. I'm going to ask you to take a look at exhibit number 33.
Let's
see. Now, this is a document you produced in discovery in this case. It starts at the bottom of the page. Can you tell me what was at the top of the page?
Yeah, I put all the emails in one document and just copied and pasted because I've never pulled documents like this before. So there was nothing at the top of the page.
All right. Now you have this one from you to Vince Jolivet, right? This is a person you talked about that's been a lifetime friend of James Franco, correct?
Yes, and a very long time friend of mine.
Okay. And by the way, how was the dispute with Mr. Jolivet and Mr. Franco at Art of Elysium resolved? Did they pay you more money? What happened there to get that resolved?
Nothing on the business side. On the personal side, Vince came to my house in roughly October of 2019 and apologized. That's how it was resolved.
What? Just apologies? No money?
Oh, please.
Okay. But they never paid you any money?
No, it was not a financial dispute. It was more like an overall massive misunderstanding of what had been committed to. Oh, was there no contract?
Okay. This is on April 2nd, 2020, that you sent this email to Vince Jolivet. This is shortly after the end of the trial and after you reached out to Christy Dombrowski and you've been speaking with Adam Waldman, who's been writing drafts and declarations for you. Correct?
Objections. It seems facts, not an evidence. The witness. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it says, I sent an email because I had to do the right thing. The decision is in both of your hands, and I have done everything in my power to provide the truth, to bring the truth to light. Whatever the consequences with any of this, I know I've done all in my power to be on the right side of justice, honesty, and truth. I love you. This is to Vince, correct?
Yes.
Did he respond to this email?
He may have called me about it.
Do you have a recollection?
I do not recall.
All right. Now let's go down to, I think, Adam, I'm going to go ahead and take the screen from you if you wouldn't. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to go down to the second page. This is an email that is from you. Subject, Anthony, dated August 2nd, 2020 to James Franco.
Uh-huh.
And then you go on, you have a few things that you talked about, and then you say, well, I've got 2 subpoenas from Johnny Depp's. Let's see. I wonder if this is one of the, there we go. All right, they're having a problem. Elaine says, well, I've got 2 subpoenas from Johnny Depp's attorney and had to give a sworn statement to the truth after Whitney Heard brought me up on the stand. Do you see that?
Uh-huh.
So you decide that you had to come forward with these statements because you perceived Whitney Heard bringing you up on the stand. Would that be correct?
Objections. Assumes facts not an evidence. Misstates document. The document speaks for itself. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Okay. And in fact, the 2 subpoenas you got from Johnny Depp's attorney it actually turned out to be 1. You just had 2 copies, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you told Christy Dombrowski that you wanted to have a subpoena because it would make you feel more comfortable. Do you recall that?
Objection. Assumes facts not an evidence. Calls for a hearsay. I didn't get an answer. The witness. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And in fact, Adam, how did you get the subpoena?
It was emailed to me.
Emailed to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who emailed the subpoena to you?
Adam. I believe it's the documents I submitted.
And by Adam, we're talking about Adam Waldman?
Yes.
Okay. And did he tell you that he had not filed the subpoena with the Virginia court?
Objections. Assumes facts not an evidence. Calls for hearsay. Calls for a legal conclusion. No, ma'am.
Were you aware that it was not a valid subpoena when it was sent to you by...
Oh, wait, what?
By Adam Waldman?
Objections. Assumes facts not an evidence. Calls for speculation. Calls for legal conclusion. Calls for hearsay. The witness. No, ma'am.
Now you said in here you had to give a sworn statement to the truth after Whitney Heard brought you up on the stand. You didn't have to give any statement, did you?
Objection. Argumentative. I believe whenever I said that, I was referring to my own moral compass. I had a very long conversation with my family about how to handle this.
All right. Then we go a little bit and we go to the next thing. You say, I'm attaching the letter that I personally wrote to Whitney after speaking to the attorney. The attorney you're referring to is Adam Waldman? Yes, ma'am. All right. And you wrote that letter to Whitney, and Mr. Waldman reviewed it and provided you with advice on that letter. Did he not? Objection. Calls for a legal conclusion, assumes facts not in evidence, calls for hearsay. He read the letter after I wrote it. He did not tell me what to put in the letter or edit in any way. No. Why did he send the letter to James Franco? Because I knew that he was in the elevator right after the things happened. And all I've ever asked him is to say what he did or did not see in the elevator. That's it. I have a hard time believing that she just didn't ask him, like, hey, did you see the bruise on Amber? She's saying that she didn't, and she's saying that she just went to him and just said, hey, just say if you did or not. But I don't know, the fact that she didn't ask him directly, I don't know, I have a hard time believing that. Question. Are you aware that James Franco has said that there was bruises on Amber that night? I don't know. Do we have a deposition of James Franco that we're going to get one day? Objection. Calls for hearsay. Assumes facts not in evidence, like a foundation, and misstates the record. The witness. No, ma'am, I am not. If James Franco were to tell you that he saw bruises on Amber that night of May 22nd, 2016, would you believe him? Objection. Improper hypothetical. Assumes facts not in evidence. The witness. Yes, I would hope he would tell the truth. Yes. Well, I'm asking you, would you believe him if he told you that? Ms. Vasquez. Lack of relevance. The witness. Yes, ma'am. Elaine. And has James Franco ever told you that he did not see bruises on Amber's face on May 22nd, 2016? Objection. Calls for hearsay. No, ma'am, I have intentionally not asked the question because that's his truth to tell. I can only speak to what Whitney told me. That is the only truth I know. Why didn't you ask him? Anyways, isn't it fair to say that you were hoping that James Franco did not see the bruises, that he come forward and say that he did not see the bruises? Ms. Vasquez. Objection. Compound. Argumentative. I'm hoping that anybody involved with this would just tell the truth. Oh, sorry. This is Jennifer Howell. I'm hoping that anybody involved with this would just tell the truth, because all I'm trying to make sense of is why I opened my home to someone who told me a completely different narrative than what is being said. So given that you say Whitney said to you, then why would it make any difference at all whether there was evidence to the contrary that Johnny had been beating Amber for a lengthy period of time? Objection. Vague and ambiguous. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand that question. I don't understand what you're asking. So why would it matter at all to you, given that you're relying so strongly on what you believe Whitney said back to you in 2015 and 2016, whether there is a mountain of evidence that Johnny Depp was beating Amber? Objection. Assumes facts not in evidence, vague and ambiguous, and misstates the witness's prior testimony, improper, hypothetical. Oh, man. I'm sorry. Is there a way we can make it bigger? Because I'm trying to look at you so I can follow. I'm looking at the side. It just has this one big document up. I just can't. I'm trying to follow. I'm not following what you're asking right now. If you saw the bruises, I picture him touching her face, like, oh my gosh, reaction in the elevator, like horrified. I think in the surveillance footage, did he touch her face? I don't know. Or they're just caressing each other. I don't remember that part. What I'm asking, well, let's start with a piece of it, okay? So if James Franco told you that he saw bruises on Amber on May 22nd, 2016, how would that impact you, given that, oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I think, actually, this is a good place to stop. Oh my gosh, can you guys believe it? We got through 134 pages of deposition. 134 pages. Ooh, not bad. I thought this would take me like 3 streams. I think this is a good breaking point. We've been streaming for about 2 hours now. We'll continue this. We'll continue part 2 of this. And there's actually another deposition day as well. So this might ultimately be broken up into 4 parts. I think that'll be good. Yeah, 2 hours per stream roughly. So I think this is a good stopping point for the Jennifer Howell deposition. Again, she is the friend of both Amber Heard and Whitney as well. Whitney stayed with her for, I don't know, like roughly a year, and was telling her about all the stuff that's happening with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. In regards to like the Australia incident, for example, they talked about that, the staircase incident, what happened, and the reason why Whitney decided to ultimately move from, Johnny Depp's and her sister's place and to live with her instead with Jennifer Howell.
So I don't know. All this I think is pretty interesting. We'll definitely continue reading more of it. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed having me in the background. They were both avoiding the camera in the elevator coyly, it seems. Oh, I do remember now because I think they both entered the elevator at different times, right? To make it seem like they weren't coming together or something like that. She rested her head on him. Oh, I do remember that as well. Yeah, it seems like they were just trying to avoid the camera, like with their hoodies on or something like that, right? Amazing job. Thanks so much. Elaine asked the worst. You know, when Jennifer Howell's attorney initially said that Elaine asked really good questions, and then later on he's like, okay, I regret saying this. I wonder if he had that thought in his mind. But anyways, guys, if you guys want to join, we have a Discord for, you know, community hangout. Feel free to join the Discord if you like. We do have a true crime section. So if there's anything else you guys want me to cover, if there's any updates on some of your cases or any cases that we've talked about, anything that I've missed, feel free to post it in the Discord. That's the link right there. Here's the link for all my, wait, hold on a second. All my social, I think it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I don't know if it's going to work. Maybe not today. So anyways, yeah, join the Discord. The link is in the video below. Thank you so much for hanging out. Like the stream if you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you guys a different day. We'll continue doing the readings for this. And yeah, if there's any updates for any other cases that we're covering, I went over the schedule already, but I'll go over it again just so we have it. So we'll have a status hearing for Sarah Boone at the end of this month. For next month, there should be a scheduling conference for Corey Richins, the book author that's accused of murdering her husband. Potentially in November, maybe a trial for Alex Murdaugh for the state financial crimes, and then potentially a jury trial for Sarah Boone in December. But 2024 will also be the year of a lot of trials as well. I think we have Lori Vallow's husband, Chad. His trial is for, I think, the middle of 2024. And who else was there? Oh, I think around that same time, Chad Dorman as well, the man who murdered his 3 young sons, has his trial scheduled around then as well. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out. I think there should be some other hearings that should pop up maybe for the Idaho student murders and just like a bunch of like updates and stuff like that. So we'll keep an eye on all of that. But if there's anything else you guys want me to cover, let me know. Has anyone been watching the Taking Care of Maya trial? I haven't been watching the daily trials, but I've been watching all the recaps and stuff. That's a very interesting case. Apparently that's going to go on for 2 months, but essentially it's about this young girl who was diagnosed with like a very rare disease where, you know, feelings of like touch could be like extreme pain for her. And I think at some point she was prescribed ketamine from like a doctor. And when she was feeling up the flare-ups again, they took her to like the John Hopkins Children's Hospital. And then they essentially accused the parents of like, or maybe just the mom of like Munchausen by proxy, where they were just saying that like, you know, the mom is the one that's creating these like fictitious symptoms, you know, trying to get her daughter in the hospital. And at some point they got like child services involved. They separated the parents from the child for like, I think like maybe like 3 months or something. And at which point the mom was just so upset and stressed about everything that was going on. The mom committed suicide by hanging herself. And yeah, there's a whole trial going on with that. That's a very, very, very interesting one that's happening. But yeah, pretty well. The Murdaugh retrial, I don't know if that's going to happen. I know that there's already been an investigation from, I think, SLED, which Harpootlian did not want SLED to be involved. I think he wanted it to be like, he wanted the feds to get involved instead, I think. But SLED did an investigation, I think, and then they just said that there seems to be some unclaimed things in their allegations. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. You know, I think if there is a Murdaugh retrial, that's going to be a shit show. But, you know, maybe he won't even get it. Maybe he won't even get it at all. But yeah, anyways, y'all, I hope you guys had a great one. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry that none of the links are working. I don't know what's up with Stream Elements. Ooh. But the bot is broken. What else is new? I know, right? But all the links are below in the video description. Feel free to join the Discord. We have a true crime section. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for having me in the lurk in the background while you're cleaning or doing whatever it is you're doing, playing video games. Thanks for having me in the background. And I hope you guys have a good one. Take care. Thank you so much for chatting. And I will see you guys a different time. I don't know if we're going to do all the depositions this week, or maybe we'll do like every other day or something like that. But I will for sure see you guys again this week for a YouTube stream. So have a good one. Bye, Keldon. Bye, Kay. Bye, KK. Nacho. I hope you guys have a good one and take care. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Okay. I just watched the elevator video with James Franco and AH. Oh, he doesn't touch her face. Okay. You know what? It would be really good to get a refresher on some of these. Let me see. See if we can find it. James Franco elevator. Oh, this one right here. Let's watch it. I'm going to mute the music. We don't need this music. Okay, so 522. This would have been like what? Roughly almost a week after. Okay, she's in the elevator. It's cold, maybe. No, it's May. Is it cold? Maybe it's cold in the building. She got her sweater. Going down on the first floor. Is it first floor? Ground floor? Oh, fifth floor? Fourth floor? Third floor? Second floor? She's barefoot. Ew, is she barefoot? Really? No way. Ah! She is barefoot. Ah! Oh. I hope she did a good foot scrubbing afterwards. Oh, God. I don't know, man. Maybe she likes that athletics foot. Get a little bit of a zinger on your feet. Yeah, I don't know. Because this would have been like, roughly like what? Almost a week after. No, May. Yeah. All right. She brings him in. He's got a hat. Oh, I remember this. She was backing up into him. Was it her lawyers that were trying to say that he caressed her face as if like he was caressing the bruise or something? Because who brought that up? You think she's naked in the cardigan? Wouldn't it be nice if we had audio? This is like a multi-million-dollar penthouse. How is there no audio in here? Why? Okay. True. Has anyone read the new Elon Musk book? The biography? I didn't read it. I just saw like Umbrella Guy's coverage about it. Don't forget to like. Bye. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much for the refresh. I think it's good to refresh on some of these things, especially if you can just do it so quickly and all of it's just accessible on the internet. So thank you. I appreciate that. We'll definitely do it for some of the evidence as well. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a good one. Hope you guys take care. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you guys in this next one. This live stream will be up, and then I also will just repost the video as well. Maybe taking out some of the chatter in the beginning or something, or towards the end. But I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you later. Oh wait, Cheryl's here actually. Want to say hi, Cheryl? Cheryl, want to say hi? Want to say hi, Bubby? Here, want to say hi? Here, where's Stumpy? Here, you want to say hi? Here, up. Lazy. Oh my God, he's so lazy. You see his nub though? There's a little nub right here. Cheryl, up. Say hi. Up. Oh, he's so tired. Oh, you're just a short little boy. Short king. Short king says hi. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you guys sometimes this week. I also stream on Twitch as well. If you like video games, feel free to